The title of our presentation is User Perceptions of an Intelligent Personal Assistant's Personality, the Role of Interaction Context. The project was conducted as part of a graduate-level course under the mentorship of Irene Lopatovska. The student members of the team include myself, Diedre Brown, Elena Korshakova, Karen Lai, MJ Min, Amber Pasiak, and Kaige Zheng. Personality can be defined as a pattern of cognitions, emotions, and behaviors that are relatively stable and consistent over time and across situations. The human tendency to personify objects is a well-known phenomenon. Citing Christopher Dreyer's 1999 Getting Personal with Computers, people respond socially to computers and perceive them as having personalities. Long discussed in marketing literature, the benefits of developing products that could be perceived on friendly and competent personality dimensions include stronger consumer loyalty and engagement, increased brand trust, positive attitudes, and enhanced brand reputation. The benefits of anthropomorphic computer agents are also discussed in the HCI literature and are shown to improve users' sense of efficacy, one's perceived competence during an interaction with an agent, perceived usefulness of an agent, and facilitate stronger social bonds between people and computers. Anthropomorphic agents also enhance the perception of competency and trustworthiness of the presented information, as well as the social responses from users. It is easy to attribute personalities to talking technology, like intelligent personal assistants, or IPAs, also known as conversational agents, digital conversational or personal assistants, or smart speakers. We define an IPA as a natural language processing system that supports conversational interactions with users on smart devices, such as cell phones and speakers. The most popular IPAs include Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and Apple Siri. IPA personalities are evident in the choice of name, voice, male or female, conversational style, and pre-programmed responses related to humor and personality utterances, such as greetings and personal questions. Companies share very little about their IPA's personality design process. Amazon claims that Alexa is designed with the extroverted sensing, feeling, judging personality based on the Myers-Briggs type indicator, and describe Alexa as approachable, efficient, trustworthy, and natural. While we know little about the intended design of IPA personalities or how users perceive them, research has produced some recommendations based on user preferences for personalities. In an experimental study of introverted and extroverted conversational agents, Yuting Chen et al. Reported user preference for extroverted expressions of personality over introverted types. Et al. Tested warm and cheerful, and assertive and serious conversational agents designed to support job interviews. They found that job applicants were more willing to confide in and listen to an agent that manifested a more assertive and rational personality in high-stakes situations such as this. This situational preference for personality is also supported by human-to-human interaction research and, indirectly, a large body of personalization research in the information-seeking retrieval context. If users' search behaviors and judgments are influenced by context and tasks, so too should their perceptions of systems and their associated personalities.
In order to resolve some of the uncertainty around IPA personalities, we designed the study around the following questions. What are users' perceptions of IPA personalities, specifically when they come to the study? What are their general views of IPA personalities? How do they view personalities of experimental Alexa after the study? And what general personality traits do they identify in their ideal Alexa? The second question was whether people perceptions of IPA personalities and preferences change depending on the situations. Stressful and non-stressful was our specific focus. The experiment was fully online. We developed an experimental skill with pre-programmed responses for the given utterances. The experiment was guided by the online instrument including questions of general perceptions of IPA personalities, as well as perceptions of experimental IPA, utterances on stressful and non-stressful topics, utterances that aim to gauge IPA personality on warmth and competence dimensions, as well as ratings and comments about user reactions on IPA performance and manifestations of personality. We made an assumption that after stressful tasks, participants might value competent IPAs more than after non-stressful tasks, where they might appreciate friendliness of the IPA a little more. We recruited 50 participants and randomly assigned them to two groups. First group was given stressful tasks first, and the second one was given non-stressful tasks first. The stressful tasks were required to be completed in 2 minutes, even though the time was not enforced, and evolved around information about the closest route to the hospital for the neighbor with a heart attack, taxes, what to do with the COVID exposure, and some clarification on the business email. The non-stressful tasks focused on vacation planning, questions about Bora Bora, testing of the meditation app, as well as some movie suggestions. Both stressful and non-stressful tasks were followed by utterances that aim to test the warmth and competence of IPA responses. IPA responses were largely informed by current collection of IPA responses. We selected representative examples for the high warmth, high competence, high warmth, low competence, and low warmth, high competence responses, where either or both of information value of the response and empathy, friendliness of the response were represented. We found that while most of the participants appreciated IPAs having personalities, not all of the participants appreciated IPAs having personalities. People who found benefits of IPA personalities usually associated them with higher entertainment and enjoyable values. The participants who did not value IPA personalities found them scary, creepy, and generally getting in the way of completing their tasks. Our experimental IPA was rated pretty close to what the designers of the real Alexa aimed it to be. They found it to be extroverted, highly agreeable, highly conscious, low on neuroticism, and highly open. We found that participants generally found Alexa to be warm and competent, but they wanted even more representations on those dimensions in their ideal IPA. We did not find significant differences in situational preferences for warmth and competence. Participants generally gave high scores to warm, high competence, and high warm, low competence responses after both stressful and non-stressful tasks. The only statistically significant difference that we observed was related to low warmth, high competence responses, as the appreciation for those increased after second tasks closer to the end of the study. Since our users seem to appreciate high warmth and competence, we really think that IPA designers should calibrate the system's responses to the golden quadrant of friendliness and informativeness. Since not all users appreciated the IPA personality, we think that those manifestations should be optional and users should have an ability to select whether they want their IPA to have strong personalities or not. We did not find significant differences in users' preferences for agents' warmth and competence after stressful or not stressful tasks. What we observed, however, is generally preference for warm responses, regardless of competence, which might point to a primacy of warmth effect known in the research. The idea that people tend to value somebody's warmth, friendliness before they start assessing somebody's competence. The appreciation for competence grew in time. So towards the end of the study, which lasted about 40 minutes for most of the participants, participants started valuing and giving higher scores to low warmth and high confidence responses. So duration of interaction is something that the designers should definitely consider in tailoring the responses towards more competent, more warm skills. Since we use the stereotype content model, the model that relies on warmth and competent dimensions, we also started wondering whether this model can be used to classify other information systems. For example, do users perceive Google Chrome to have a personality, to express warmth and not just provide informational value? Could user expectations for warmth and competence be used to classify information systems into ones where users primarily expect competence and information, warmth, emotional support, or both, which might be the case of IPAs? Our research suggests that IPAs is definitely not your traditional IR system. Users often test its personality and seem to be quite satisfied even when the information is not presented to them. We thank you for your attention and definitely welcome additional questions and suggestions. I'm Irene,